Do a quick sound check. Can y'all hear me okay, or am I blowing up the speakers? Christian, Vincent, Steve, good morning, good morning, good morning, 44 Trade Nation. We're jumping on a little early today. I'm having a feeling that we might be riding solo and Justin's out with a family matter. And of course, our buddy Scott enjoying the beauty of Italy. So, not sure when he's going to be back. I think it's going to be next week, but who knows? Maybe I'll make a guest appearance today. But let's talk shop if you guys are open for it. SpaceX is all the rage. I'm sure you guys are probably SpaceXed out by now. However, we'll definitely keep an eye on that. I actually have it up on another screen. Typically from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. We'll definitely keep an eye on when it actually gets announced or released. But it's going to be huge. I mean, they raised $75 billion before the thing is even opened. That's pretty wild. So really, $1.8 trillion market cap is what it's going to IPO at. Pretty insane. Anyway, let's take a look at what markets have done overnight. S&P futures higher. NASDAQ definitely leading right now. We're seeing a little bit of a sell-off this morning. I shouldn't even call it a sell-off, just a small pullback here. Dow futures up and participating in the move. Right now, surprisingly, IWM is outperforming. But, VIX is kind of at the 20 print now, which I guess seems to be normal for this market now. Pretty wild. Keeping an eye on the 10-year Treasury, right around 4.5% or so. And then, of course, like I said, SpaceX is going to be top of mind. So what does that mean? Look, last week, totally different tone this week than it was last week, right? We saw a massive sell-off last Friday, which we benefited from, or, literally is the biggest semiconductor sell-off since 2020. But now we're looking at futures are higher, oil is down. Adobe crushes earnings, raises guidance, and it sells off. What's new? Broadcom did the same. Oracle did the same. Now Adobe's doing the same. So can it rally? Can it bounce? I will be looking at Adobe, maybe putting it in my portfolio at some point and getting some exposure to that longer term. Maybe trade it today, but we'll see. But definitely don't mind holding Adobe. Everybody thinks that you're going to get away from it, but let's face it. If you create an image, yes, there's some powerful stuff AI could do and help from that perspective. But if you want to edit that image or create consistency around an image, you're still going to be using Adobe products because that one AI may not store a visual perspective long term. So I don't know, just kind of my perspective. I have a feeling they'll evolve with AI versus against AI. Anyway, just that's my own personal opinion, I suppose. Give the disclaimer, it's not financial advice. Do what you want, right? It's your money. End of the day. Let's talk a little bit about what people are kind of focused on right now. It looks like, let me look at here. Marvell, their CFO is leaving. Is that right? Let me see. Adobe CFO is going to Marvell. So that's some good news for Marvell, I suppose. Let's look around. Hold on one second. SpaceX review begins trading. Yes. NVIDIA China strategy. Preparing a new Vera CPU offering for China to regain market share lost from export restrictions. That's for NVIDIA. Let's see. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure revenue grew 93%, while RPO reached $638 billion. However, investors remain concerned about capital expenditures approaching 95. Interesting. So Oracle could be on the watch today. Let's pull that one up. There we go. Obviously, we saw what happened with those earnings. I'm going to extend these levels that we talked about yesterday. We'll keep an eye on that today. Right around that 184. Actually, might be interested to get pre-market here. All right, well, let's take a look at heat maps. As you guys know, I'd like to see what happened for the year. pretty significant movement, as you guys could see, obviously here in the chip sector, no big surprise, but look at what's happening year to date in some of these companies. You still have a short in Tesla with options that go out of ways. I've been peeling some of those off as we've been going lower and lower and lower. So definitely keep an eye on what Tesla does today. AMD kind of in the hot seat a little bit, only because it had a nice push overnight and it's pulling back a bit. So I'm going to keep an eye on AMD. No surprise there. Coin maybe interesting today. We'll see. It's up to 159 again. So we'll see what it does around 160. But I'm definitely keeping an eye on like where's money moving, right? Like surprisingly, oil and gas doing pretty good. Manufacturing, obviously in the Lam Research, ASML, things like that. But man, finance is getting kicked a little bit here. And same with tech. Look at these software providers. Palantir's down 27% year to date. Microsoft down 19%. Meta down 14%. And these are pretty significant numbers. Fortinet, though, is up 81%. And Palo Alto Networks up 51% year to date. So, I mean, these are pretty massive moves, guys, for a lot of these names. But let's look what's happened in the last day. It's pretty obvious where the money is moving, right? Pretty easy to see that. Which means, guess what? That's probably where we're going to be playing today. No surprise. No surprise. I'm here to trade, get in and get out. But let's take a look here. I'm going through this process just so you guys know this is typically how I'll run down my morning. We'll start with what's changing. Here's some big movers. I've already selected a few of them and put them on my charts. But for those of you guys wondering, hey, how does DVG start his day? What is he looking at? Here you go. This is kind of the insight. And then we go to charts. So from here, you guys know that 722 level, you'll notice I just extended this all the way out. And it's funny, like, okay, we went over it. What day was this? Tuesday for a brief moment in time to 725 and then just tanked. So very important level in this yellow band here. 722 is going to be a big level we'll watch today. If we can breach that and move higher, maybe we will get a shot at breaking out and continue to push back up to all-time highs, possibly. We'll see. But this is a pretty significant sell-off. And with SpaceX IPO today, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some money moving around as an excuse. Like, oh, yeah, we need to free up capital to buy SpaceX. That already happened, my friends. I'm almost certain of that. Now just people want more exposure to, does the war end? What does that do to the market? Blah, blah, blah. But inflation is for real, and it's here to stay. I don't think it's going to be going down anytime soon. So we'll keep an eye on these levels. If you guys remember yesterday, I talked about this level quite a bit here. And we bounced right off of that level. And as soon as we got that news, Trump talking about a deal with Iran, et cetera, once we breached that channel that we talked about yesterday, it was retest and adios. So hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of that. I ended up stepping away for the day, but we came back and retested this level a few times. And there you have it. Beauty of charting. So we'll keep an eye on this retest area, 709.75 as well. Like, does it retest here? So I should change this for a moment. I'll change it to red for now. And then this, I will change that to yellow. And I'll actually just expand this up to about here. So that's kind of the lookout, right? That's based off yesterday. Can we retest these levels? Do we need to? For a real technical setup, I would say yes. But we're doing that right now in the pre-market. The fact that we undercut these pre-market lows already, that makes me think we're going to at least try the top here. At least. So realistically, not to mark up my charts too much, but this will be where I'm looking to see at least we tag here to here this morning, maybe right at the open. And then if we're going to go that far, we might even tag this 709 area before moving higher. Not to say that that's exactly what's going to happen, but I'm going to be on the lookout for that. Some anchored VWAPs kind of converging in this area right now as we see. And again, this is just for the Qs. So Qs kind of help dictate what's happening in the overall chip sector. I've got a few names here put up, and I'll post the watch list here in a minute. We're coming up on 10 minutes before markets open. But Adobe, again, not the worst earnings call. Raise guidance, crush the number, and then tanks. I don't know. I might be open to buying some today and holding it. We'll see. MU 960 is that level. So good news. I can get it a little bit better price before I can short it. Can it continue to move higher? Yes. Do I think it's overvalued? Yes. I would say from a stock perspective, the PE ratio on it's not terrible, but I don't know. I have a feeling that people might be dumping these really expensive names if they can go buy SpaceX for 135 bucks today, which I have a feeling, y'all, with 75 billion or 70 billion dollars already locked and loaded, I have a feeling we're not going to open at 135. We'll probably open around 200 bucks. That's going to be my guess. But we have it right here at the bottom right. So I'm also going to be looking for sympathy plays like ASTS and Rocket Lab. Obviously, there's plenty of other names, PL, Planet Labs, and a bunch of other names. But I don't know. These two, I have a feeling they're going to either run in sympathy or sell off in anticipation for SpaceX, and we'll see. We'll create that narrative as it unfolds. I'll be watching Oracle. I actually like it right here, even in this pre-market level, 184. So I'll actually post all of these. Give me one moment. Watch list. CBRS. Not my favorite name, but it sounds pretty good. So keep an eye on that. CoreWeave, I have a feeling, along with AAOI, I don't know. I just don't. I think we're going to see a sell-off in these names soon, like a deeper sell-off, kind of like what we saw here previously with CoreWeave down to 91 bucks. I think maybe 80 bucks become in the 80s somewhere. So we'll see. Maybe I'll start a position to hold for a week, like swing trade. Let's see. AMD will post as well. Coin. What are y'all watching as I'm going through this? Obviously, yes, TS, Rocket Lab, Adobe, and I'm going to put, of course, IPO, SPCX. So hopefully we can all keep an eye on SpaceX. So if you guys see that actually hit the tape, let me know. And there it is. I'm going to nibble here pre-market. Give me a second on Oracle. I have a feeling we're going to move higher here. So let's see what I can get in at. Okay. Not the worst entry, but that's all right. So we're already in Oracle. Small size. I'll build on it. And at 185. That's fine. SPCX. Jonathan, good morning. Christian, you're watching the Qs today? Right on. Yeah, there's a big chart. We talked about that one. Definitely a good one to watch because I have a feeling, like I said, come back and retest this 712 area and bounce. Maybe we get into full bull territory and just start to rip again. But definitely have a bias today. If you can notice the red border to the downside here at the open. And then if we switch gears and move higher, I definitely think that SpaceX can kind of take us to that promised land because be a lot of hype around that, man. It's pretty wild. Say good morning to everybody else in the room. And again, apologize. It's just me today, I think. I think Justin's got some family matters to deal with. And then, like I said, Scott will be back next week. So bear with me. Manning the ship solo. Let's see who else we got. Anita, good morning. Rex, good morning. Brian, what's up? CC's in the house. Christian, yep. We said good morning. David, good to see you. Farah, Frank, what's up? Jay's in the house. Aloha. Michael, good to see you, man. Omri, Zuki, Vikas, what's up? And Rick's in the house. Well, feel free, y'all. Post the trades. David, good to see you. Post your trades, y'all, if you can. Let's help the community. We're running up on 5 minutes. So before we get started, y'all, I'm gonna actually go warm up my tea. It got a little cold. So give me just a moment. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. All right. I like Adobe as well. We'll keep an eye on that one as we open up. And then, like I said, Oracle will probably build this position if we do see a spike here. We're in at 185 here pre-market, but let's see what happens. Vera, interesting. Where are you trading from? I'm glad I got that mic thing sorted out. That was unfortunate. Oh, interesting. No, Jonathan, I had the same mic. I just there's a mixer that comes with it, and so I just ended up taking the mixer out and just going straight analog, plugged it in. So just disabled the mixer, and that seemed to work. I've always had the same mic, same setup. It sounds okay. It's not too loud. Cool. Awesome. There's AMD on the move. Look at it go. So maybe we're gonna get that push this morning. Again, watching these two anchored VWAPs from lows and highs. So nice little confluence area here. Do we reject? Do we hold? We'll find out. Should be a pretty awesome day today. Again, I don't always love trading Fridays. Last Friday we absolutely crushed it though. Crushed it. So let's see if we can do that again today. Marvell is going to be on the watch as well. I didn't post that one. I have it on a separate screen right now, but I don't know if that's going to be good news getting the CFO from Adobe, or if it's going to be bad news. I'm not sure, or if they even care. It's just an excuse to move money around. You know what I mean? So let's definitely keep our eyes open today. Share with the room. I've got SpaceX down here. This will be my primary watch. So in fact, let me put. I'm going to get rid of Rocket Lab here. I'm going to put Oracle up here. I'll put Rocket Lab over on this side. So that way I can just keep an eye on when SpaceX announces their IPO. All right, y'all. Well, look, we're about a minute away from opening this market. And again, Oracle right now, I'm more than happy to go full share size right out the gate. If we can hold this 185 print, I may load this thing. So I've got it ready to go on another screen here. And then Adobe, I'm telling you, man, this looks really nice. We'll see what it does here at 202. In fact, I might hit the open on Adobe long. Let's see if we can get, we'll just start with like 100 shares, see how it goes. ELV. Oh, nice, fair. That's probably wise if you got a delay there, huh? That's good thinking. I'll move, let's see, ALV. What is ELV? Let's see. Elevance. Probably going to trade next to UNH, so I'm not sure. Not sure actually. I don't trade ELB enough. All right, guys, let's start with a small position here on Adobe long. There's the sell-off, initial sell-off here on the Qs. Oh man, that's a brutal fill on Adobe. 203.86. Yikes. And start small. And then Oracle. I'll add. Okay, we'll just wait for this first candle to clear the air. Let's see here. MU, guys. I'm gonna probably short it. Let's go. Okay. Not a great entry. Again, this will be a build. Small, excuse me, small position on MU. If it gets back into that range, I'll add, but keep it on the Qs, y'all. Pull them back a little bit. Go to big chart for a second. You see that? Isn't that funny how that works? At these levels. So 712 realistically, let's see if we can go test that. I'm probably wait on getting put options. You guys know I like to get those bundles. ASTS selling off pretty good. All right, guys, adding to MU. Adobe, not looking great. Oracle, not doing great. Yikes. I'm gonna probably dump Oracle if we don't move higher in a hurry here. Adobe, I don't mind holding for a bit. MU though, I'll add even more. I want to see a break under 960. A lot of money sitting at 960. So if I see that snap, I'm feeling we can keep moving. Let's keep it on the Qs as well. 712 area. See if we can hit that retest. We'll probably bounce at that area. Okay, guys, Oracle, yikes. What are you doing? Beautiful MU, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, adding even more on MU. 960 break, let's go. Hopefully it doesn't bounce there. It might, but I'm taking a risk here. Keep it on the Qs, y'all. Still in the Oracle trade. Yuck. MU, what are you doing? Adobe, you know what? I'm gonna buy a little more, even though it's pulling back. Because frankly, I may want to hold this for a while. I don't know. So I'm gonna add a small. It's a small position to start anyway. So let me add a little bit there on Adobe. Move my dollar cost a bit. And Oracle, You know what? I'll add a little bit there as well to the upside, keeping it simple. Don't do it to me, MU. Not today. You were good to me last Friday. ASTS tanking. Let's just look at the Qs real quick. That's pretty good, attempt at a bounce here. Trouble is, I have a feeling that we'll crack this and then maybe bounce in and around this area. So, for the need to, I'd say it's a decent read to pre-market. What do you guys think? ASTS down. Here comes Oracle. Yes. Thank you. Got to have a little faith, I guess. MU, though, yikes. What are you doing? Wow, look at this push on AMD. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Look at this turnaround on the Qs. The strength. Beast mode. Marvell, guys. Also looking great. MU. Yikes. I might have to dump this. We'll see. As long as it stays under that 200 EMA. But Oracle looking great now, guys. I'm going to go full share size Oracle. Let's nail this thing. Let's go. Full share size now. Oracle. To the upside. What else? What are y'all watching? Quiet room this morning, guys. What's going on? Don't do it to me, MU. What are you doing? Got to be patient. It moves. That thing moves quite a bit. So, wow, AMD 507 now. Oh, I'm tempted to short this thing. Give me a second, y'all. Take a look at that. Ooh, maybe not. 504, big level. 515 is the next logical stop. And then, yeah. 510, I might get interested. The downside, we'll see. If we run into a little bit of a wall up there, I might be interested. Even here, 507, I kind of like it, but I might actually nail this thing. Man, ASTS would have been an amazing short. I don't know if anybody took that. That would have been amazing. Still an MU trade, y'all. Still an Adobe. Still an Oracle. But this is why I wanted that 507. Look at that. Bam! 4 points. One candle. Jeez. Man, ASTS, too bad. Anybody take that? That's exactly what I was looking for. Rocket Lab should look the same. Let's see. Yep. There's my 2 shorts. Yikes. Missed them both. Anybody take them? Ah, come on. Here comes Adobe, guys. I'm going to add some to Adobe. If we get over 200, we should hold that level. That's the plan anyway. Okay, there we go. I don't want to see it reject 200. I want to see it hit 200 and then take off, get to like 205 to 209. And then if it does, I'm going to be looking for it to close up to 218. Probably take a partial in around 210. 10-point move. That'd be pretty sweet. MU, you're breaking my heart a little bit this morning. What's going on? Oracle. Just limping this morning. Yikes. Coin going straight down to 156. I might get interested down here, y'all. 156, 157. Oh, man. ASTS on a sweet short right there. Look at that. Just straight down. Had a feeling that was going to happen. Shucks. Okay, Adobe looking good. Might have to trim up on MU, guys. Just free up some bucks. Expensive position. And Oracle, what are you doing? What are you doing? What do you guys think? You guys going to be waiting for the SpaceX IPO? Jump in and what are your thoughts, y'all? I'm not going to touch it today, but I have a feeling it's going to go straight up and then come straight down. Perfect. AMD. Let's see 510. Might get interested in it. There, y'all. Oh, MU. Ouch. Stay under that 200, would you? Okay, guys, I'm going to put a limit order at 510 short on AMD. Let's see if I get filled. Of course not. Guys, look at this nasty candle. Nasty candle on the Qs, y'all. Let's see if that becomes a bearish engulf. MU, yay. Oracle, gross. Adobe. You know what? I'm going to take away from Oracle. It's not doing much, y'all. In fact, I'm going to close it at a loss here, and I'm going to move all of that money to Adobe long. Ta-da! So now we are in a bigger position here on Adobe. 3/4 full share size. To the upside. Took an L here on Oracle, so I'll dump that. AMD did not get filled at 510 for whatever reason, even though we spiked to 510.27. What is up with that? How did that happen? I must have been late to the click, I guess. Oh my goodness, that is gross. Look at AMD now. No. Oh, guys, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. Ah, brutal. ASTS wanted to short that 510. We wanted in on AMD. It's just sitting there. It's not filled. Oh man, that's a gut punch. MU though, we'll make it up. We'll make it up on MU. No big deal. Guys, Q's now breaking the bottom. Look at that. Hey, what was the level? You guys remember? You ready? Look at that. Let's see if we actually get a bounce here or if we get all the way to 709 and then bounce. The beauty of talking through it pre-market. How many of y'all actually paid attention pre-market, y'all? Pretty cool to see that though, right? Okay, we called it out. Wouldn't be surprised. We come down here, we test it. Now 709 could be a possibility, but I have a feeling we find some build up here. Again, I call it needle and thread. That's not what it's called realistically, but it just makes sense. You kind of needle and then thread through it. So wouldn't be surprised, okay, if we kind of do this and then do a little bit of an undercut and then back through here and then take off. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna be watching for right now. Like, how deep do we cut, or do we find, again, look left. I always say when you're especially using charts, look left. What do we do right now? Does this become a new floor? Or do we crack through that and then realistically find a floor here at 706? Because if we did that, that is a beautiful technical setup for bulls. Because you get all the bears involved, you get them excited, and then you just rip them apart all the way back up to 722. So don't be surprised if we see that, especially with the SpaceX IPO today. It's just excuses to do anything, right? But look at this. We're finding a little bit of love here. That 712 Brent. Not surprising. Christian, you said I did. I'm not sure I followed. Oh, I get catching what I was talking about this morning on these levels that we were talking about. Oh, cool. Glad we got out of Oracle. Adobe, what are you doing? Wake up. Let's see. What else is out there? Rocket Lab, again, same thing. I wanted to short both of these, ASTS and Rocket Lab. I wanted to short this guy too, CBRS, but there's not enough volume in it. So AOI, wanted to short that one too. CRWV wanted to short that one too. And AMD 510. I'm pissed that I didn't get filled. That sucks. I must have right when I put my limit order, it might have just already dropped below 510. Like, because now if it gets to 510, I don't want it. Because there's a good chance I get run over. If it gets back up there. In fact, let me cancel that. AAOI and CRWV, guys. I think I want to short both of them, but I'll wait. Still an MU short, still an Adobe long, and really upset about this right now. Okay, let's watch the cues now. Look at that. There's that little break. 709 now becomes a reality. You know, can it bounce here? Sure. Of course. Realistically, though, might want to be in this yellow box more than likely. So don't, now it's going to be choppy action, right? So this is where patience pays. By the way, guys, I got rid of my AMD short, so I'll clear that from the room. It would have been a great trade. Now, if it gets up to that level, it would probably be devastating. So I'm going to delete that one from the post. Jeez, that sucks. Come on, Adobe. Let's go. Let's get rid of Oracle. Let's find something else, y'all. Look at Marvell go. What's that doing? Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, that's a nice move on Marvell. I like that. 277. Big level. So now watch, guys. AMD gets back up to 510. This thing's going to rip. Dangerous. Very dangerous. If y'all wanted volatility, you got it today on a Friday, man. Wow. What did this drop down to? 500 even? Yep, 501 penny. And boom, 7 points in one candle. That is, wow. That's all I'm going to say. Wow. I like this Marvell trade, though. That looks really nice. What do you guys think? Should we go for it? Realistically, the earliest SpaceX can hit the tapes would be 10 o'clock, but IPOs have a tendency to wait till the afternoon. So I won't be around if it's anything in the afternoon. I'll definitely be notified of it, but not planning on trading it today personally. But I am planning to watch the show. What kind of day trade would it be? I'm not watching that one. Okay, you're looking at coin 157. It's a little bit slow today on coin, but I do like this like 156 area. At this point, like I'm not gonna go long anything else. Like I've got this Adobe long right now. Marvell looks interesting, but again, I'm actually watching the cues because now I want to see this thing try mine. So I may I'll skip all the for now, but if this area holds, fine. You can see there's a little bit of a battleground happening, right? Again, trying to hold this peak. But I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if it comes down to this yellow area, retest this liquidity level, which at that point could be 709, it could be 708, it could be 706, it could be whatever, right? But remember, like 706.63 was the 50% retraced from here to here. So top to bottom, boom. And isn't that funny how we almost tagged it, and then Trump comes out and says, you know, we have a great deal. They've accepted a deal, and then boom, market just takes off. So, what is that worth noting? these markets, the volatility is definitely there. People are looking for an excuse to run over shorts anywhere, right? But they're also eager to get the heck out of the way because when, we come to find out, is the deal real? Because we didn't agree to anything. What are you talking about? So then is it really does it have anything to do with a deal, right? Boy cried wolf. So yeah, right now I'm waiting for this cues to find either footing and moving higher from this area where it's at now. If it does, I might start to go long a few other positions and get out of the way of something like MU that I'm in still. Which could be troubling because AMD and MU right now kind of trading similar, but AMD is way stronger than MU right now. That's why I'm short this name and not that name. But if we get back up to 510, that could light a match for AMD. All right, Hughes, what are you going to do? You going to hold? Okay, guys, MU, I'm going to probably have to dump some of this position. I'll wait. As long as the Qs are aiming lower, I can wait, but I don't like that AMD is looking like it wants to just explode here. Look at that. Oh, man. Should we go long AMD? I'll wait. I might get in trouble here on MU, y'all. They didn't say what time it's gonna. I didn't see anything about when it's supposed to hit the tape. Did you guys see anything? I just heard 29% above their 135. Oh, they said 10 a.m. Interesting. So 8 minutes. We should see this thing light up here. Let's see. Jonathan, you went short Marvell? Okay. Yeah, I liked it at like 277. It could rip. And watch the cues. Maybe it found the footing there, right? Like MU, I'm in trouble, I think. It's kind of why I hate trading Fridays. Just watch. We'll see some really drastic move here in a bit, and who knows? Oh, MU, what are you doing? Should I add here? Not when it's above the 200. And it's be adding to a losing trade. Can't do that. Yeah, I don't know if that's. I think a lot of that's already set up, though. Like, definitely, we'll see that from a retail perspective. Like, we'll dump here to buy here. You know what I mean? I can see that happening. But they're saying 10 a.m. That's like the earliest an IPO typically will hit a tape, but from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. is kind of like the window usually, and most IPOs will hit the tape at around 1 o'clock. So kind of interesting that Nasdaq saying that, oh yeah, it should be open at 10 as early as 10 a.m. That tells me like, yeah, that's normal. But all right, MU, this hurts now. Shoot. Can't hold it much longer. Mm-mm-mm. Marvel moving under the 200. Let's see. Barely hanging on to MU now, guys. It's kind of holding it right now on Marvel. I kind of like it to the upside, to be honest. Good luck, Jonathan. All right, I'm gonna wait for 5 more minutes to take another trade, but MU is starting to hurt a bit, so I'm gonna probably have to dump it. I already took an L on Oracle. And Adobe again, I kind of don't mind holding on to it for a bit, unless it really starts to break the bottom. I can wait. Really missed out on this ASTS and RKLB shorts today. We're bummed about that. The joys of trading Fridays. All right, that's enough, MU. Yikes, that really hurts. Oof, that is an expensive trade. Yikes. Mm-mm-mm. Let's wait for a few more minutes. I'll wait for 4 more minutes to see how the market reacts. And does this start to light up? Anticipated 29% over 135 was the initial IPO price. And not surprised. But let's see. Oops. Yeah, probably open around 175 bucks. There go. This is why I took my short off on AMD, because if it came back up here now, it's going to likely explode to the upside. And we got run over on it, MU. So it's just telling me people are buying up chips again. It's a safe bet, I guess, is what everybody's envisioning. So be careful, Jonathan, on this Marvell. Yeah, you see you're out already. Cool. Good luck. That might have been the needle and thread right there, friends. Through and through. Hold, bounce. We're under the VWAP for now. Looks like we're pushing on the Qs. 2 more minutes. Let's see if we actually get SpaceX to post right at 10 a.m. That would be pretty cool. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, AMD might be interested at 515 to short it. We'll see. You know what, guys? I'm gonna bump up my Adobe position full share size because I have a feeling if we get over this 200 EMA, we should rip. All right, let's see. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm I don't think they're gonna have an option chain today on SpaceX. Probably not even for the next week, but we'll see. Also worth noting, next Friday, I believe. Double check. It'll be a short week next week. Look at coin. That's a nice move, guys. Anybody take that? It's a nice move. It's saying they're for sale now on the NASDAQ. I don't see it on my side. Coin looks good. Really good. Whoa, MU, what are you doing? Kicking myself. Should have bought the dip. I'm sure if Scott was here, he would have been buying while I was selling. Keep an eye on AMD, guys. 515. Marvell, there's that push 277. Coin 159. Just taking it easy, guys, because I took a lump already on MU. So I'm not eager to jump into big positions other than this Adobe position that we have long. Let's see if we can get above 202, 203, and then we should lift. I want to see a big spike. Why, you might ask, after a big sell off? Well, good earnings, good forward guidance. Maybe they're bummed that their CFO is leaving, but I mean, still a good company, I think. What a move on coin. That would have been nice. One of you guys were mentioning it. Frank, was that you? Did you end up taking it? Also, pretty excited. There's 515 on AMD, guys. Let's hit it short. Just going to market order. Small. There we go. Not bad. 51468. Nibble. Nibble. We start to break down. I'll nail it. Tesla, guys, rolling over. Q's now moving. There goes Marvell. We should have taken Marvell too, guys. Oof. Man, this MU position, though, that hurt. Looked over and it spiked like right over 980. It just went bam, 4 or 5 points. I'm like, oh, yikes. Here comes Adobe, guys. We're in this one full share size. I want to see it pop over 203. And at that point, I'm going to wait till 210 at least before I take a partial, get my money and run. Bank a day. You know what I mean? It's a nice bounce off of that 712, wasn't it? Here comes Adobe. Let's go. Let's see. I think I'm gonna. Guys, I'm gonna hit AMD. Add a little bit. Dave position. We'll make it, A position. And we'll add a little more under 513. Let's see why. Yeah, SpaceX isn't on yet. UFC, y'all, this weekend, the White House. Pretty cool. And you guys watch UFC? Fans, maybe? It's quite the lineup, actually. Wow, the Qs, guys. That's 712. AMD now moving against. It's okay for now. That's so crazy, man. We have our first trillionaire, Elon, today from this IPO. That's a million times a million. That's so much money, man. Holy crap. Oh, AMD. I don't believe you at all. Guys, look at MU now over 1,000. Woo! Today is the day where people are just buying everything. Marvell, guys, back up to 280. That would have been a nice trade. Didn't take it. My AMD position, it's small enough. I don't mind. Look at that. Buy that dip. Buy that dip. Pretty awesome. Good call out. Unfortunately, I'm not in the right movers right now with Adobe not giving me the love I wanted over 203. Be patient. We got to 202.99. Penny away, and it should rip. 203 is the magic number. What a push on the Qs, guys. Incredible. Incredible. Wow. Beautiful thing, man. Beautiful thing. And I am in this wimpy little Adobe right now. It's not loving that. Could have been an AMD long at 500 or short up here at the top, which is fine. I don't mind. I can be patient. I'm not gonna freak out over 2 points, but we looked at this one earlier, so I'm just kind of trusting the charting. Can it continue to rip? Sure, but it's a pretty aggressive push. Qs again. Let's keep an eye at 722 now. It's likely going to be where we find some overhead resistance, but this is a massive push, guys. For me, like we talked about it, free market. I wouldn't be surprised if we come tag this and then rip higher. Pretty pretty decent call out, I would say. Just got stuck on MU and Oracle. So what is Oracle doing now? Probably ripping now. Nope, still in the toilet. Still feeling okay about AMD. And get rid of MU, guys. Let's see. I'll put coin here for a second. Where were you guys at to tell me to short Apple? Look at that drop. Ta-da! Oh man, ServiceNow got ripped today. Palantir as well. Palantir 128. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Where do we end up, guys? On 720. Okay, 720. 2 points away from that overhead resistance that I was anticipating on the Qs. Yeah, Michael. Yeah, that's what they were talking about. 29% increase over the 135 initial. So 175 ish is what they're planning on opening it at. But realistically, I mean, I'm calling probably 190 by the time anyone could buy it. All right, guys, AMD looking all right. I'm going to add to it. I think we're going to come back, at least test the close on the Qs, so around 717, and then whether we bounce or not, who knows. So looking to see if maybe it takes a little bit of wind out of the sails of AMD, but you could see how incredibly volatile MU and AMD are today. I mean, this is nuts. MU just went straight up to 1,008 from 976. Like, that is incredible, is all I'll say. So my concern is that the pump and dump. So with this AMD position, I'm going to probably have to survive a little bit while the Qs approach that 722. And then if it breaks out above 722, I'm probably in trouble in this AMD trade as well. But it should pick a name like Adobe up. Fingers crossed there. It's just wild. I mean, hopefully some of you guys just, bought the dip that we talked about at that 712 and then pick a stock. It doesn't matter, AMD, whatever, but just bought it. But hopefully you guys were able to take advantage of some of that move. But ASTS was the one I wanted to short this morning. Missed it. Rocket Lab as well. But today I get the journal because it's Friday. Again, typically I don't like to go heavy on positions, so I'm a little heavy now on Adobe, and I went a little heavy on Oracle, to be honest. And then MU, as it was falling, I was adding to my position, and rather than take partials because I wanted to see the 960 break, it literally got caught at 960 and then ripped. So talk about getting a bear trap. I fell for it for sure this morning. Lesson learned there. Tighter stop. That's all that is. So getting the teeth on a Friday is not always fun, but it happens. Just keep your composure, you know. Don't start revenge trading because that's how you lose more money. You go from worst to even more worse. Adobe, though, I have a good feeling. This could make my day if we get over 703. And I say over 703 because I'm looking for like 710, 709. Or sorry, 710. I'm looking at something different stock. 209 or 210. Sorry. Same thing, Michael. I'm with you, man. Same thing. I'm definitely gonna watch though. You know what I mean? Because again, having it open at 175, like there's so many stocks that have done this before. Like the one that comes to mind for me is Snowflake. I think its original IPO price that they put it at was like $145. I think I could be wrong on the actual number there. If it was 145 or something like that, but it ended up at like 250 by the time you could even touch it, which is like, no, it's not worth that. Sorry. And with SpaceX, like, you know, there's so much hype around it. It's going to be a euphoric, you know, bubble. It'd be fun to trade it, but, you know, you might make 30, 40, 50 points in a second, and then who knows? That's partially that, like what I'm looking at this market. If we get to this 722, there's a good chance we should rip, like blow the top off. I mean, it would make sense to carry that momentum. But if this is another pump and dump, like we've been seeing that repeatedly, right? Pump, dump, right? Pump, dump. And then fake news that we did a deal, didn't care. Markets were like, hey, let's keep that momentum going, even into the after hours. And then right before we open today, we just dump. Pump, dump. Pump, dump. Pump, huge dump. You know what I mean? So do people want to get their money back that are in up here? Probably, but I don't know, man. It definitely feels very, very frothy right now in this market. So again, I'm keeping an eye on the Qs, maybe to start stacking a position up in that area. We'll see. I just don't. I don't trust the viciousness of the moves to the upside and the downside are almost malicious, you know? And so you just got to be patient. That's part of these markets. Like if you go, oh man, I missed this and I missed it, I mean, you'll drive yourself nuts. I don't know. Part of it, and again, it is a Friday and I am riding solo, so it's not as much banter, and I don't want to come off as like being boring on a Friday. It's just you got to be patient, you know. Like we called this level. So for those of you guys who were bold or brave enough to go, hey, you know what, I'm going to go long in the event we bounce here. Cool, you're probably crushing it right now. We marked the level, we talked the level. Made it kind of pretty clear. Okay, here's what I'm anticipating we'll probably do. We did it, which is great. Not trying to say that, oh, hey, I know everything. That's not the plan here. But I wanted to see, like, hey, do we actually dip even lower? And we didn't, which is fine. But for us to rip this high this fast, in my opinion, it's malicious because you're just trying to run over everyone that's short, and then people are buying, buy, right? And then you just dump on all the people that were buying. Again, if I were doing it, that's exactly how I would do it. Like if I had the ability to control these markets in a more meaningful way, that's exactly what I would do. Just go, yeah, hey guys, look, buy, sell, and then we'll rip your face off and then dump everything else. So let's definitely keep an eye on this level up here, 722. We'll notice we got close here pre-market. What did we get up to? 721.81. Again, it's not set in stone. I definitely have a range, which it's funny. I put that range in place, and that was before, what was that? Right here, popped just above it. So this should have been a breakout right here. And here's it was the nastiest day of selling. Like this right here should have been a rip all the way to 735. And instead we just absolutely sold off. So I don't know. I definitely don't have the confidence in these markets to prevail the way everybody thinks they will. And then here's a perfect example, nice bearish engulfing candle. So let's see, AMD, we're still looking good. Adobe, what are you doing? Let's see, look at that. $11 sell-off in 2 candles, guys, on MU. Like, I don't know. It's great to be a trader on these markets, but it can be really dangerous if you're messing with, big size. And like, look at this turnaround on AAOI. Look, from 172 to 163, and then we ripped to 179. No news, nothing, just shred. You know what I mean? It's pretty crazy. And it's unfortunately teaching people very bad habits. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. So then what happens is when the dip happens on like Tuesday, everybody's buying the dip, and it's giving everybody the liquidity they need to exit their positions. You know what I mean? So definitely be cautious on that kind of stuff. If there's a level that makes sense to buy, like we saw today, sure. Some validation areas, whatever, fine. But being calm, being patient on days like today is super crucial. Am I disappointed that I'm red right now? Sure. I mean, who wants a red day? But like, look at MU, guys. Look at this. Look at this. No news, nothing, no information coming out. But we ripped from 960 to $1,012, and now we're sitting at 993. 20 points, just poof, like that. Look at the Qs now. Look at the Qs. Come back, tag the 200 EMA. Wait for the violent sell. I'm telling you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna grab some Q put options right here. Maybe we bounce here. I'll start building bundles because the fact that we didn't get to 722, we got to 720. We can technically go back up to 722, which is where I really want to start building a position for the bundles. But I'm gonna start small, and then actually, what does 722 look like on Monday? Oh my God, they're expensive. You're kidding. Look at if you want to understand volatility, all pull up an options chain for the Qs. Okay. Click on Monday's expiration. Look how much at the money put options are and call options are. Christian, are you out there? or anybody. But what is that telling you? For Monday's strike, or sorry, Monday's expiration at the money. So let's call it 717 right now, or even 718, but call it 717 strike. What's that telling you? Let's see. So I'm looking at Michael says, yeah, I'll watch. And so will everyone else. That market drops when it opens or shortly after. Yeah, no, I think it's going to literally, like a rocket ship, go straight up and then start to fall. I'm sure plenty of people catch it though, right? I have actually bordering on psychotic. Yeah, exactly. So look, this is the thing. I mean, guys, this is what we want as traders. Like, we want this level of volatility, but you also have to be careful on sizing. Like, it's so easy to blow up an account. Like, I know that there's a lot of folks really, even using, like, I don't know, prop trading and stuff like that. And that's cool. It's a good way to, use other people's money, whatever. But if you're not careful, because I was just talking to someone about this earlier, especially if you're trading futures, which I enjoy trading futures, especially after hours. I'm doing that a lot more recently. Even with one contract, just one. Again, you can trade like minis and all this other stuff, but you can get in trouble quick, like thousands of dollars, which is great if you get it right. But if you just do it for the sake of gambling, like, and you're not super tight with your stops, etc., I'm like, look, man, that's a surefire way to learn A, bad habits, and B, like, just because you did it once, can you do it, 250 days in a row? So trust me, like, I hate taking red days. I hate it. Very, very competitive person, but the only person you're competing with when it comes to trading is yourself. Like, the markets they don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your emotions. They don't care about your money. Trust me, they don't. Let's see. It's expensive and might not get there. I'm not sure what you mean by that, T-Dash. It's expensive, might not get there. Coin, what a beautiful move. 161 now. Still waiting on Adobe. I'm not putting any trade on. I've got AMD short right now and Adobe long at the moment. That's all I got. But I'm watching the Qs like crazy right now and waiting for SpaceX. Supposedly 10 o'clock. Didn't think it would be. It's more likely to be around 1 o'clock. We'll see though. Guys, here comes a push on Adobe. Finally. Adobe can hit 209, guys. Trust me. I will be more. I'd be super happy. I get paid today. Here we go. There's that 203 push. Let's go. No partial, guys, until I see 207. I'll put me green on the day. Yay. Yeah, it's expensive. Might not get their Qs. Yes. So, no, the reason I was asking is if you see how expensive those options are, and Christian, I know we've talked about it before, and I know you guys have heard me talk about it before, but that should give you a signal when it's that expensive. Obviously, that has a lot to do with if you pull up VIX or implied volatility, right? That's baked into those options. That'll also give you an idea of what the anticipated move looks like by Monday. Now, keep in mind, typically on a Friday, Monday expiration options at the money, I don't know, $2-3, maybe, usually. But you can see how much volatility is baked into this market now, right? You effectively have a 14-point move baked into that option by Monday. So what does that tell you? at least my interpretation is no surprise to see moves like MU happen. You know, 1012 now back to 990. That's why. That's what those options are implicating. Is that level of volatility, which tells me again, not that you just flip a coin, right? But you just got to be patient, and you got to if you're you got to build positions versus like what I'm doing with AMD and what I did with Adobe was like build, 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 and I'm like, all right, let me stack it full share size. That easily could come back down, and then I, turn my day even more red. But right now, I'm okay with holding even a portion of that position long term, like not just for today. So, because I think it's a good company. Oh, we'll see. Who knows? It could drop to low of day and wipe out. But now I just put break even. It's probably where I'll be. Worst case. So I can't lose on Adobe now. I'm just gonna make money. And then AMD, it's waffling up here near the highs, which is telling me like, okay, people are figuring out, do we want to sprint and move towards all-time highs, which is up at 546, or do we stabilize and do exactly what MU is doing? Well, I'm betting that it starts to look like MU. Let's see if it works out. Anyways, it does make for a boring session. I get it, but it's part of the game. You just got to be patient. And coulda, shoulda, woulda. We talked about 712, right? That was the perfect entry to go long. You could have made 6 to 8 points just if you were trading the Qs, which I think some of you were. So hopefully you were able to take advantage of that. I know I didn't. I'm still waiting. Let's see if we get to that 722 on the Qs. At this point now, I can wait till probably 720 to start building my put options, but I don't even know if I want to do it. They're so expensive, like super expensive. In fact, I don't think I will, to be honest. I'm not going to pay $7,000 for an at the money put, which by Monday effectively is telling me I got to be at 712 by Monday just to break even on my premium. No thanks. No thanks. So I'll hold off on the Qs, guys. I don't think I'll build that bundle. Guys, Adobe, cha-ching. Look at that, 205, baby. Come on, 207 is where I want to take a partial. In fact, if it's really spikes, I'd love to see 210. 210 would be amazing, amazing, and it'd be the most patient trade out on a long position. Like Scott loves, he'll love this play out. I'm gonna have to show this to him. Guys, look at MU. Disgusting. Disgusting. AMD working out. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna add a little more. AMD. Vamonos. What an incredible trader this guy. DVG, I believe everybody knows this guy. Nobody knows this guy. Everybody likes this guy. Let's go. Adobe. Come on, baby. 207. Get me paid. We're green now on the day. So that's cool. And assuming I take a partial, but I'll wait. Q's decision time here. Do we pop or drop? Q's moving higher now. AMD moving against. Okay. Man, this is slow. Yeah, my dollar cost on Adobe is way lower than my initial entry. My initial entry was like 203, almost 204. But I was building up the position, and it worked out well. 207, come on. MU is about to fall apart. Come on, Adobe. Absolutely nuts on MU. Complete liquidity grab. Give me my money back. And then dump. Wow. Incredible. Let's see. Look at this move on coin now, guys. 156 magic area to 162. 162 big level for coin. So if it holds that, it should continue. If not, careful. Cue the disclaimer, not financial advice. What are you guys watching? What are you guys in? Alan looking at CRWP. Let me take a look at that. Boom. Yeah, that and AOI. Little sister trade, but look at AOI and then CRWV. Put them side by side. I'll do it right now because so they look pretty similar, but AOI is tanking and this one isn't. So is there news? Let's see. Nope. Nope. NBIS also. There's the trio. So definitely keep an eye on those. Sympathy plays or pairs. Watch the cues, guys. Violent selling in 3, 2, 1. Dump. I mean, unless the whole goal of this thing is keep it sideways or up near 722 as long as possible until SpaceX comes out. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens either. You're an SNDK from $1966. Long, Michael? Okay, we're about to get paid on AMD, guys. Short, yeah. Good for you, man. Let's get paid on these chips, dude. Here comes the red candle on the cues as advertised. Adobe, man, come on. Don't break my heart like this. Let's get paid on AMD too, man. What are you looking for? At least 1940? Good luck on that one, man. It's a nice trade. Did you post it? Or you keep it secrets? Look at that. Q's hit the close almost to the cent. Did it? A little under. But I would not be surprised if we have a Tuesday-like sell-off soon. So be careful. I'm counting on it with AMD. Okay, we're at the VWAP here on NASDAQ futures. Just broke below it, which means the Q's heading down to VWAP as well. And here comes the red roll. Ta-da! I don't like it for my Adobe position. In fact, I got to bank something. Let me take some off, guys. Take half my position off Adobe. Still did okay on that. Still a little red on the day, but AMD coming in now. There we go. Now we're green on the day. Boom, just like that. Let's make some money now. I want to see 510 just snap. Watch how fast, if 510 gets lost on AMD, watch how fast it sells. It's a big if, I know, but let's see. Partial, very nice. Very nice, good job. Well played, sir. Aloha to that, for sure. I'm waiting for the Macho Man elbow now. Off the top ropes. Yeah. Hit him with one of those. Wait for it. Watch the cues, y'all. Watch the cues. You tried to bomb on me, baby. I don't know. I'd say we did okay marking this up. It's not too confusing, right? I got rid of some of the other lines. These anchored VWAPs, arguably I could probably make them not as thick, but then it's confusing with the VWAP, so maybe I won't do that or change the color on them. But yeah, I'd say we did pretty good. Notice the bottom end of this range. We kind of got close to it, rejected. We can totally turn around and rip this thing to the upside, but I don't know. I don't trust the loftiness of this market where it's like, hey, let me pump it so I could dump it on all the retail traders. That's what it feels like. I wouldn't be surprised right now, just a big red candle, like a big one down to like here and like 714 in one. I mean, you could swear like I've got like something telling me what's coming, huh? What's going on here? Wait for it. Bloop. Shout out to our folks on YouTube, by the way. If you're out there, definitely hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. It helps us out. Or if you're thinking about joining a room, where do you get it better here than here? Come on. Join a room. In one day, we've had people pay their entire year, which I think we even have a deal. If you sign up for a year, you save some dough there. But we're trying to grow the community. Some great traders here, like-minded traders. This can be a very lonely business and an echo chamber. Like if you're around people that are always, agreeing with what you're thinking, you may not grow that way. But here we're sharing ideas, we're sharing thought processes, we're sharing how we chart, how we interpret the business, how do we grow in understanding the business. I mean, I call it the business because it is a business. Guys, check this out. We're making bank now, y'all. Bank. Let's go. AMD, pay me. Let's go. No partial on AMD yet. It's at the VWAP. I want to see a break. As long as I see the Qs aiming lower, pay me, AMD. Been waiting around. I will take a partial soon, though, because we took a red day to a green day, and that's a good day. Without forcing trades, y'all. Without forcing trades. Just being patient. Like I said, for you guys out there on YouTube, come join the room. Free 7-day trial. If you like it, great. If you love it, great. If you don't, 7 days. In fact, I think we had somebody here do exactly that recently. I think in like 2 or 3 days, you paid your whole year. Is that right? Are you out there? Can't remember who that was. Beautiful trade, Michael. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to take a partial on AMD here in 3, 2, 1. Still red. So, as in it's still moving red. Let's see if it tags 504. If not, I'll take a partial right now. Okay. Partial AMD, guys. Oh, that's nice. Whew. Good recovery into a green day now on a Friday. Pretty awesome. By the way, the Qs got that right down to 514 or 714 as advertised. Pretty cool, right? If it breaks 712.56 or even the low of session, is likely the next target. If we bounce here anywhere in this area, then we for sure take the top off. So if we end up doing this, this is probably what we end up with. If we do this, that's what we end up looking like. So right now, 50-50, which is why it's a good time. Michael, good time to take your partial. Same for me. Because we can bounce. Look, Marvell displaying some incredible durability. Look at that. Jeez. They love that new CFO, I guess. Look at that. Boom. Oh, man. I like that trade. I think who was short that? And I was like, nah, I kind of like it to the upside. It's the only reason I didn't take it because you were short, to be honest. Well, and the fact that I had some money spread out already. You did, Jonathan? Right on. Oh, you were the one that you were shorting it, right? You got out. You got out with a good stop, though, right? You only risked like a point or so, point and a half. Michael, I like that, man. Tight stop. Cool, man. Good. Disciplined trading. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. That's a great quote. Michael says, I think it was Jamie Dimon who said he became a millionaire by always getting out too early. Hey, man, that's my goal, dude. I don't care if I get out too early. As long as I get paid. You know what I mean? Guys, my Tesla options, by the way, that we've been sorting out. So if you guys remember, I was talking about like big levels. And every time we would hit a level, just keep in mind they were staggered over a period of time, leading up to this IPO. So I have some into end of June and then mid-July, with like the ones in mid-July are way lower. They're like down at like 270, I think. 270, 280. But all of them have been like getting banked. And as it moved lower, I was just pulling them off like at the strike prices, right? So it's like I had some at 395, 390, 380 or whatever. So as they got closer, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me just get paid on them. But guys, look at this spike. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Careful, careful. Whoa. All right, guys, AMD closing that. Thank you. What is going on here? What is happening with this spike in the market? Look at this despicable market movements. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Did you see that? It takes us what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 15 minutes to get lower. In a 1-minute candle, run everybody over. Dang. That is wild. Nothing to see here, guys. Nothing to see. Just complete bullish behavior. And we did illustrate it, though. So I'm sure we could rewind the tape. If we bounce here, we're for sure going to probably take the top off. Right? And why wait? Just one candle. No big deal. That's crazy. That is crazy. Michael says, you listen to electronic music, trance type during trading. It makes me calm. Is that weird for a 70-year-old or what? Actually, I think that just means you've got an active mind, more than likely. I actually find a lot of, my friends now, you've got your friends that you've known forever or whatever, but a lot of the folks that I meet now, especially in like the racing community and investments, etc. You need to have that level of focus. You have to have overstimulation in a way. So like being, going 180 miles an hour is the only place that you can like literally just have that level of focus and almost peace. So you feel at peace at those speeds because you're hyper focused. And I agree with you. I mean, I don't I listen to all kinds of music, but um like right now I've got some like slow jams or whatever. I think it's called like chill hop or something like that. Um just mildly playing in the background. But I'm with you. Like when I wake up in the morning, most people like to be like completely quiet. I don't. I like loud music. So I totally get it. That's kind of cool. I've got a couple friends that feel that way too. They'll listen to like trance music and they'll almost be put in a trance, like get all calm when it's like boom, 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 boom. I do. Yeah, cars and motorcycles. Yeah, I'm chilling out on the motorcycle stuff. Like I still have my bikes and stuff, but um, staying away from the track days now. Um, I'll take the bike out every once in a while, but just I'm getting older now, so the risk of riding is not as profound, I would say, but it's the risk of other drivers right now that kind of it's scary. And so like going to the tracks and stuff, it's just a lot to load the bikes, bring tires, trailer, blah blah blah. It's just it's a lot, and then it's a little more of a beatdown, to be honest. It's great workout, but like racing a car can be strenuous as well, but not nearly as much as it is on a bike. Um, so I have a Panigale V4S, and then a couple track cars. Shouldn't say that. I have a car that I track, and then other fun cars. Yeah, no, that's cool, Michael. Yeah, and what the nice thing too about Harley is, so Michael said it was ride until about 68, but um, there's a certain joy. Like you get it if you've ridden a bike. Um, it's just different. Being able to feel the air the way when you're riding, it's amazing. It's a very euphoric feeling. Very different than a car. Um, with a Harley, it's cool because you can like just chill when you're riding. You know, yeah, every once in a while you can hit the throttle and get up to speed, but when you have like the Panigale, it's not very comfortable long term. Like going long distances, it's a blast to ride around. But like, I don't know, if I've just had too many friends either wipe out, get like really injured, um, maimed in some cases, right? Like it's brutal. And I'm like, you know what? Why should I? I shouldn't risk that. So again, like I said, I still have my bike. I take it out, but at this point, it'll be for just take it for a spin. Guys, watch the cues. We are up at that 722. Get a prior engagement. You're a bit late. Your grandson at graduation from preschool. Nice, Mark. Well, congrats to the little man. Good to see you. You missed out on a guys, Marvell. Oh, Jonathan. Should have both been going long at that 274, huh? So yeah, Mark, get you up to speed. Right now, the only thing I'm working with now, I've got a long on Adobe. We took a small partial. Bought the dip on this one. Crushed earnings on Adobe, top and bottom. Good forward guidance, but it got wrecked. I mean, look at this, straight down. So I'm looking to see if we can maybe even hold some of this long term. And then short on AMD, up near the top, added, and took partials down at 507, 508, I think. 508.08 is where I got out my partial. And then we got out on this candle completely. So we went from a red day to a green day, and then look at this disgusting move on this price action. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's see, plus Hawaii. There is nowhere to go except the circle. I guess. A pretty circle, though. So there's always that. Coins on the move. Yep, no doubt. We talked about that one earlier, but pretty wild move, guys. And not a bad call out, huh? Said if we find support here, we're going to go straight up. Almost 100% sure. And look at that. That's pretty, I don't know. Pretty good call out. If we get above this red box, though, y'all, almost blue skies. Almost. Let me see. In fact, let me move this from here to there. It's up around the same area. Let me find a recent one there. Snap one of those. Interesting. 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 Very interesting, actually. Mm. It's pretty wild. Okay, I'll hang on to that one. That makes sense. A lot of sense. You guys see what I'm doing there, by the way? Taking that low and watching it as an anchored VWAP where we tagged, where we broke, held, broke, rejected, and then from the high anchored VWAP there as well. Interesting. Pretty gross, though. This whole block right here, pretty gross price action, guys. Like, look at how gross that is, man. All right. Okay. As advertised, almost to the penny. Seeing some rejection there. But like I said, if we get above that, I mean, maybe the real breakout shows up, y'all. That said, this is a nice rejection. So let's see. Coins on the move, good trades there. So Adobe dump, TM for left. CoreWeave seems strong. Yeah, the trouble with CoreWeave, and we were talking about that one actually a little bit earlier. So CoreWeave was here, and it just stacked them side by side. So you've got AAOI, right, and then NBIS, kind of as the trio in that space, like for like, you know. CoreWeave definitely more of the dominant player at the moment in that group, but I wanted to start short, like building a short for like a longer term, like a swing short on these names, but I won't, just because I want to see what happens with SpaceX. Look, it's 11 o'clock, guys, and here's the good news. managed to take a red day into a green day, and I'm happy with that. No complaints. A pretty gross turnaround on these markets. So definitely be careful. We talked about this volatility, and it is vicious right now on a Friday. We got, I think, Quad Witch is next week, if I'm not mistaken. So be aware of that. It is a short week. I think Friday. Let me double check. Yeah, it's a federal holiday for June. Yeah, it's Friday, June 19th. So it's a short week next week. So don't show up on Friday to trade. I think futures will be open for like the evening. Actually, most of y'all don't trade futures anyway, but I think there's some hours of operations for futures, but well, it's make or break, I think, for the Qs here, y'all. Only position I have left is this Adobe long. %50 of my initial share size because I'm looking for 207 or more. But I imagine probably 1 o'clock is what I'm gonna guess. SpaceX actually hits the tape. What a nice trade it would have been on coin, guys, at 156. Shoot. At least now we know it's a proven area. Last time we did the same thing, remember? 156 to 159, then 162. Now it's at 165. It's got moved to room to move now. Yeah, Mark, I think we're all gonna watch it. I just don't know if I want to sit around and wait all day, but I'm not planning on trading it. I don't think. How many of you guys are going to trade it? Let me ask that question. If the opportunity presents itself, maybe I will, but I just have a feeling we're going to rip right out the gate. And maybe not even today pull back, but I have a feeling there's going to be a massive drop. Like I said, I want to buy it at like $80, $60. So then I'll hold it, just leave it in my portfolio for however long. Maybe I never get a chance to, but that's what I'll be watching out for. And you figure it's going to open up 29% above its initial, which that was at what, 9 o'clock. So I imagine there's way more money dumping into that because 70 billion is what they raised, and that was as of yesterday. So you figure it's going to open at 175 instead of 135. So you're already 40 points in the good if you got in at the IPO price. Let alone if you work for SpaceX. I mean, shoot, I wish I would have just gone there and done anything. Like, what do you do? I deliver the mail here. Because you instantly are going to be a millionaire once this thing opens. So that's by the way, Mark, this bottom right. I mean, I could leave this up for a little bit too, but I suppose I could just like pop in and out. I'm gonna go make some lunch right now. Maybe get another cup of tea going. I don't anticipate taking more trades, candidly, because I had a pretty gross red day today, thanks to our good friend MU. We had it short. I was adding, and I was hoping that we'd crack that 960 because we came in, pre-market retest, and we came back to retest that again. That should have snapped. Instead, it picked up here and then ripped my face off up to 984, I think. That's where I got out. So that one hurt. And then Oracle early on, we got involved, and same thing. I took a lump of coal on that one. Yeah, I know exactly, Mark, right? Mark said, I'm the janitor. No, same thing. Yeah, SpaceX. I actually know a few folks over there, and they're good people, and I'm happy for them. Q's now on the move, y'all. Looks like we're going to get that breach of 722 now. Mark, something that you missed was take a look at the options chain for the Qs for Monday. Tell me what you think about that. Jay, do you ride or race? Jay, you were asking about cars or bikes, but you out there racing around too? Guys, Adobe finally, let's get over this 205. I'm targeting 207 or better. As soon as we get over that 205, I'll take 207, and then I'll just put like a, I don't know, 8-point trail on it. Look at coin, 165. Let's go. Okay, guys, decision time on the Qs. SPY is on the move. Can the Qs breach the 722.12, which was an all-time high on May 22nd, and has provided overhead rejection a few times here? It looks like we're in the clear, but can we get the follow through and knock the ball out of the park? Pretty crazy, guys. We called it. We called the drop and the pop. The run tape on that one. Clifton, what you over there smiling about, man? Yeah, Mark, I just saw your note. It's pretty wild, right? Super expensive, which just goes to show the volatility. Like we were talking about it earlier, Mark, but just the level of volatility today is insane. Um, the price movements, like MU, I had up on the screen on purpose, from 1,012 all the way back down to 975, all the way back up to 1,000 now. That's a crazy round trip right there. You know what I mean? And AMD, kind of same thing, from 494 to 516. Marvell, 268 to now 287. What? Like just vicious moves. Coin, another one. $155 to 164, 10 points. I'm not too surprised about it, but the period of time of which it's happened is nuts. You know what I mean? Less than 2 hours. This level of volatility is I don't want to say it's unprecedented, but it's pretty wild, in my opinion. Let's see. USO may have found a base here. Doesn't make sense. Getting too sleepy to wait for IPO. Oh man, Ned, see you guys in a while. Right on, Michael. Cool, man. I appreciate you being here, and always good trading with you, posting your trades, etc. You scored on the SanDisk, right? Short. Crushed that trade. If I remember right. ARM is 350 to 380. Yeah. My whole thing is what I was showing earlier, Mark, was this range up here in red. Like if we get above this, in fact, I could argue maybe even expanding this little box a little more. Let's see, to include that. So if we get above this, it's a rip, just straight up. And I don't see why they wouldn't want to at least push it. But this is my danger zone was 722, where we've kind of hit this as a ceiling, and rolled over. But we were talking about this push down to 712. Wouldn't be surprised if we did that this morning. Why? Here's your peak after the news, supposedly, that we're going to do a deal. That turned out, just kidding. We're not really doing a deal. And then we tank, retest this level. I was like, if we hold this, we're probably going to take the top off. And yeah, sure enough, nice push. Shorted it around here. Called that 714 area. And I'm like, if we hold this 714, you can count on a ripper. And here we go. So overall, man, I'd say it's just been a pretty good day. Unfortunately, I wasn't on I wanted to trade a lot more of the chip names to the upside or the downside. And I was on the wrong side at the wrong time, especially with MU. Like I was making money on MU, and I just didn't take partials because I thought we'd snap 960. So I get to write that in my journal of silliness. So it's all good though. I'm gonna join you, Michael. I'm probably gonna step away, y'all. Went a little extra innings. Appreciate y'all being patient, and hopefully Justin and the family are doing okay. We had a family matter, and Scott should be back next week. Again, remember Friday next week will be a federal holiday, so don't plan on coming in. Let me just take a quick look at upcoming earnings for next week. Give me a second.